Well, good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. I took 2 weeks off and all hell broke loose. But as usual, most of the hell is coming from Prince Harry's mouth. He moved to California, rocking the foundations of the British monarchy. It was about 3 years ago they quit now. Seems like forever, doesn't it? The claims he's made this week have detonated a bomb. But this weapons-grade hypocrite has done nothing more than reduce his own reputation to rubble. And after torching what's left of the bridges back to his family, he now begins a new personal journey, we're told, one that ends with ridicule and irrelevance. The prince who fled Britain to protect his family's privacy has laid bare every tawdry detail of his private life, from drug abuse to intimate conversations with his father, the king, even at Prince Philip's funeral. The dad who fears for the security of his family, apparently, has put a target on their backs now, and on the backs of the royal family, and on his former military colleagues, with his stupid boasts about killing 25 Taliban, or as he calls them, chess pieces. And the Be Kind ambassador, so earnestly invested in women's rights, brags about mocking a disabled matron at his prep school. He names her. She's called Pat. He said she was greasy and too ugly for him to feel horny. Think about that woman tonight, having to deal with that in what will be one of the biggest red books of the year. How does she feel if she's still around? I don't know. How do her family feel about that? He also exposes how he lost his virginity, says he mounted some woman behind a pub and she spanked him on his ass. Did he check that terminology with Meghan Markle? Hasn't she just literally done a podcast series trying to eliminate sexist terminology from men? Oh dear, Harry. The discarded son who just wants private, clear-the-air talks with his family, if only he wasn't scared they'd be leaked, has now leaked everything. And I mean everything. I read it all today. It is mind-blowing. Most outrageously of all, Harry and Meghan allowed claims to swirl about racism in the royal family for almost 2 years. They made a 6-hour documentary about it. They accepted a Human Rights Award last month for fighting structural racism in the royal family, all based on what they told Oprah Winfrey. But now Harry's decided that apparently that's not what they meant at all.
In the Oprah interview, you accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
Well, the British press said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention that they were racist?
She said there were troubling comments about...
there was concern about his skin colour.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't, not having lived within that family. The way the British press reacted to that was fairly typical. Neither of us believe that that comment or that experience or that opinion was based in racism.
I would like to apologise on behalf of the British press, actually, because he is an unbelievable village idiot, and I think it's all our fault.
Are you serious?
Honestly, it's not the fact that he was useless at school and got no qualifications, which is why he's doing all this stupid stuff. It's the British press's fault. We're responsible for everything, including his ginger hair. And I'd like to apologise for giving him ginger hair. It's awful. We should never have done it. But let me get this straight on a serious point. The racist British press blamed for 6 hours straight of that Netflix bilge for hounding Meghan out of our racist country. Driven at the top by a racist royal family. Apparently, it's the press that's to blame for saying that Meghan Markle's claims of racism were claims of racism. Now, this had consequences, what they said to Oprah Winfrey. I was forced out of my last job presenting Good Morning Britain, a job I really enjoyed, because I said I didn't believe these claims without firm evidence. There wasn't any. And now we get told it wasn't racism. Exactly is what I suspected at the time. Do I get an apology? Does Sharon Osbourne, one of my guests tonight, does she get restored to her job at the CBS show, The Talk? Because she got fired for offering support on Twitter for my right to my opinion, because apparently I'd said racist things. It turned out those racist things were not believing Meghan Markle's racism claims. Now they say they didn't mean racism. So does Sharon get her job back? Will they give back that award that they got for their heroic battle against structural racism in the royal family? Now we know there was no racism, structural or otherwise. Across 3 new interviews and 416 whining pages of his book, Spare Me, as I call it.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
Harry lambasts the British press and his family for colluding with the British press. His bitterness and bile for Camilla, the Queen Consort, is shocking. This is the love of his father's life, who he brands a dangerous villain.
How was she dangerous?
Because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
That made her dangerous.
That made her dangerous because of the connections that she was forging within the British press. And there was open willingness on both sides to trade of information. And with a family built on hierarchy, and with her on the way to being Queen Consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street because of that.
Bodies left in the street.
Wait for it.
Says the guy who boasted about killing 25 Taliban. Actual bodies that he left in the street. And then boasted about it, which has now enraged the entire Muslim world. But Camilla was apparently dangerous because she forged relationships with the media.
Okay.
Says the man who's pocketed over $100 million by forging relationships with media entities like Netflix, Spotify, Oprah Winfrey, James Corden, CBS, ABC, and so it goes on. He says his brother, the Prince of Wales, attacked him because he was riled by reading stories in the tabloids, but also that his brother placed those stories in the tabloids himself. He slams a memoir by Diana's butler, Paul Burrell, as one man self-justifying, self-centering.
On the wall, who is the fairest of us all? Me, me, me. I love me. I'm the best person in the world. She is absolutely,
Wait for it.
beyond a joke. But I would have thought that any chance a right oik had, American Riviera Orchard, had to
I like
succeed.
that.
Thank you. Has just been buried.
Yeah.
It's I think maybe Harry helped to scratch up the earth and bury that bit of matter
Stop it.
underneath another banyan tree. Meow, says I. But she is not capable of running a company of
Stop it.
that. I think, Dan, if I can just very briefly explain, some years ago, Arnold Scarsi suggested that I do a jewelry line for
Wait for it.
the shopping channel. And I looked into it and spoke to the head of the, what's it called, the shopping network thing. I can't remember what it's called now. But you have to have, for every product
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
that you are making available for sale, you have to have in the warehouse several hundred dozen ready and waiting in case it's a success. And if it's not a success, you stand the hit because you have to then somehow get rid of that stock. Meghan has these big, bright ideas.
Are you serious?
And doesn't understand what is involved. And also, who's going to be really promoting it? Who's going to be really helping her? You know, she'd like us to believe that
Wait for it.
Netflix is going to be behind it, yeah. And pigs fly.
Well, yeah. Why on earth do they want to get behind a product? Lady C, just had to show you these great photos.
Okay.
Of Meghan at the Paley Centre. Literally, look at the PR right to the left, and she's just like, get off. According to Taz, put these together, and that's why I just wanted to show you them. Then there's, look,
What the hell?
the other one on the other side saying, Meghan, please, just get off. Give Tyler Perry his moment, for God's sake. And then you see she's sort of dashing away, finally gets the message, but not
Wait for it.
there because she ain't happy. And I just thought, goodness me, those pictures summed up how not to do royalty or a regal approach. And I wanted to contrast it, Lady C, with
Here it comes.
King Charles, who had a delightful moment this week with a group of American tourists who happened to be in London and just had quite an astonishing encounter with the cancer-stricken King of England. It really is heartwarming. Let's have a little watch.
Trying to go somewhere else today, are you?
Okay.
We're not getting too wet, I hope.
We're not. It's
Are
okay.
you all living right here?
Barcelona.
Texas?
Japan.
I don't believe it. So, are you having an enjoyable time in London?
Now we are.
Oh, anyway, I do hope you make the most of it.
Thank you.
Have a very happy Christmas. Thank you so
Merry Christmas.
I mean, Lady C, the contrast couldn't be any clearer. Isn't that how you do royalty?
Well, you know, Dan, the King and William are very gracious.
Are you serious?
Royalty is supposed to be gracious. Harry used to be gracious, but Meghan is graceless, and Harry has learned to be graceless as a result of her influence.
Stop it.
I used to know Bill Paley, after whom the Paley Centre is named. He was Mr. Television in the 50s and 60s and 70s. And his wife, Babe, was one of Capote's swans. They had a house in Jamaica. And I mean, he must be spinning in his grave to see, because he was a man of great taste and discernment. And so was she, Babe. And he must be spinning in his grave to see that a centre that's named after him has such tacky conduct taking place on a
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
stage. I mean, you practically have to shoot Meghan to get her off the stage. It's beyond.
I know, it's like, just get off. Just get off. Oh, goodness me.
Okay.
Oh, Lady C, what a week of it we've had. What a week of it we've had. Your channel on YouTube is going to be absolutely must watch over the next few days.
Are you serious?
Cannot wait. And you know I love having you on Outspoken.
Thank you, darling. It's always wonderful to be on with you.
Thank you, Lady C. Speak soon.